Welcome to episode 48 of 100 Songs. Today we're going to talk about the band Swervedriver, one of my favorite albums, Metzgal Head, and the song Duel. Metzgal Head came out in 1993. It is the album that was my discovery album for Swervedriver and is my favorite from them. And maybe one of my all-time favorite records, actually. It is on my Desert Island list, I'm pretty sure, and it's just a great album. Sounds great. All the songs are really good, and Duel just happens to be one of the songs I picked, but I could have picked a few on this one. But Duel is as good as any, I think. Duel's appeared on It appeared on a video game too, and I'm having trouble remembering now which one it was. But I remember actually playing the game and hearing it and thinking that was pretty cool. This is a long time ago. Was it Twisted Metal? Maybe it's Twisted Metal. I could have easily looked it up before I made this video. But anyway, it was on a video game. Duel was inspired by Adam Franklin, was inspired by Steven Spielberg movie Duel, which is about a salesman traveling through rural California to meet a client and is terrorized by some psychopath in a semi-truck. So that was what inspired the song, and it's a good song. So we're going to hear a little bit of that. It's got a really kind of extended outro to it that is like waves crashing in the background, and there's lots of layers of sound, which is a kind of a Swervedriver thing. I mean, a lot of bands do that, but that's something that I think they do really well, is the layer of sound element on their really most of their music, but it's really prominent here in Metzgal Head. And this extended outro is really cool. So we'll play a little bit of the main part of the song and then maybe a tiny bit of the outro to get a sense of that. Swervedriver was formed in 1989 in Oxford, England. They are one of the pioneers of the shoegaze genre. And I don't think I'm just saying that. I think they've been sort of credited with that a bit. There in the early 90s. So their first album, Raise, came out in 91, and then Metzgal Head was a couple years after that in 93. So I heard Metzgal Head first, and then I went back and got Raise. Different than Metzgal Head, but very good, more just rock-driven music. Metzgal Head, I think, has more going on, but some people still prefer Raise. It's all about tastes, I guess. Ejector Seat Reservation came out in 95, and that one had some weird issues between the band and the record label or something, and it ended up being out of print and very difficult to find. I don't know if that's the case anymore. I don't believe it is. I think you can get it now. But at the time, it was hard to get. I actually got a copy of it, a CD, and it's a really fun album. It's also very good. And then in 95, oh no, that was 95. 99th Dream came out in 98. And when that album came out, totally loved it. It's a great record also. And that one also went out of print at a certain point. And for a very long time, we could not get it. Until pretty recently, they re-released it, remastered it, and I rebought it, just the streaming version or the digital version, because I wanted to hear a remastered version of it. And then it's got some extra tracks on it. It's all on Bandcamp. Now, Swervedriver really uses Bandcamp a lot, which is cool because they've released a lot of their older stuff. It's previously not super easy to get. I bought a bunch of their singles back in the day. It's all pretty much out there on Bandcamp, which is really cool. So 99th Dream kind of came back out again and sounds better than ever, and it holds up. Also, Swervedriver was one of my favorite bands in the 90s for years. It was my kind of go-to favorite thing to listen to. It's got the layers of sound I was talking about, the swirling guitar, the overall composition of it and mix. I think Adam Franklin put a lot of work into that aspect of it and is really good at that sort of thing. He has an ear for it. Plus, I have a lot of music memory too. So it's music evoked autobiographical memory of some really good times, and I've talked about that before with some of my favorite music from the 90s. And Swervedriver is like right there in the thick of it. Adam Franklin's got a lot of side projects too, or a few side projects. He's got his own stuff under his name. He's got some work from a band he formed called Toe Shack Highway that's got some interesting stuff. But Swervedriver is my favorite of the kind of stuff that he does. They took a big long break for a decade or so after 99th Dream came out, and they have since had a couple of records and at least 3, and I've enjoyed them. I've enjoyed them all. So it's great that they're recording again and they're out there. I'd love to see them live again. I've seen them 4 times, and the first time I found my ticket stubs. I don't know why I like to share these, but the first 2 times I saw them, see if I can get this right here. 3 of the times was in 1998. So Trocadero Transfer, San Francisco on 4th Street. The first time I saw them, it's where I discovered them actually. That's how I discovered the band. Was I went there to see a band called Therapy, which I covered a few episodes ago. And they were opening for Swervedriver, and I didn't know Swervedriver at all. And back in the day, I would go all the way to the city to see an opening band play for 45 minutes. And of course, stuck around for Swervedriver, and I was blown away. So the first time I heard them was actually live, and it was fantastic. So then that was in 94. About 4 years later, saw them at Slim's on April 1st. The day before this, I took a separate trip to the city to see Portishead on my birthday. And then the next day, drove out there again to see Swervedriver at Slim's, which is no longer there. A lot of good memories at Slim's, and it's gone. I forget what it is now. I looked it up. And then the next 2 is actually, this is the correct order here. We've got Slim's again, like 4 months later. Came back around, played again, and then once locally in Sacramento at Bojangles in June of that same year. Oh, I guess it is like this. So twice in within this is a couple days apart. Okay, that was confusing. So anyway, same tour, obviously, caught on both stops. And I like it when there's a band I really like a lot and they do the Sacramento-San Francisco or San Francisco-Sacramento stop, because I get to see them twice, and that's really cool. The last thing I want to share really quickly is when they came out with Future Ruins. I bought it from them direct on Bandcamp and got a signed copy. And it was cool. This is Adam. Adam Franklin. So it was cool. I got a signed copy of Future Ruins, because why not? I like stuff like that. It's cool, especially when it's somebody that I've listened to and has impacted me so much musically, and then I get to get a signed copy of their art. Pretty cool. So let's listen to a little bit of Duel. This is the beginning part of the song. And then let's go ahead a little bit to the outro I was talking about. I'll just pick a random part of it. You can hear a little bit of it here. You hear some waves and some birds, lots of layering. And this just sort of fades out with some sound effects of waves and birds and whatnot. Let's go to the wheel, see what we're going to be talking about next time. Okay, well, we're going to cover War Paint next time, the song Beatles off of Exquisite Corpse. Talk to you next time.